Hi DIYers, this is Michael from Alarm Grid, and today I'm going to show you how to enroll the DSC PowerG PG9312 outdoor door and window contact with the IQ Panel 2 Plus system. So this is a great sensor right here. It's an outdoor contact. You can use it on stuff like fences, gates, barn doors, patio doors, anything outside really. It's got a weather-resistant exterior, so it's not going to let in rain and dust. So it's really good to use outside, if it's going to be exposed to the elements, any place like that. And also, like most outdoor contacts, it has a larger magnet spacing gap. We have the magnet right here, actually. So you can have it a little bit further away. Ideally, you want to have them in direct contact when the door or window is closed, when the structure is closed. But you can have a little bit more tolerance here, so that will let you post it on fences and stuff. Its magnet spacing gap is 1.75 inches, 1 3/4 inches when placed on a non-metal surface. If you have it on metal surface, it's about 1.25 inches, so 1 1/4 inch. It's a little bit smaller, but still a little bit wider than your average door and window contact, so that's nice. So this is a PowerG contact, PowerG sensor. We've talked about PowerG sensors before. They have very far wireless range. With the IQ Panel 2, it's about 2,000 feet in an open air environment. Now, since you're using outside, it's going to have to go through some walls and stuff. So probably a little bit less than 2,000 feet, but 2,000 feet, that's pretty far. You got some good distance on this thing. And also, they utilize 128-bit AES encryption. That's military-grade encryption. So this sensor is going to be immune to any hacking attempts, any wireless takeover attempts. It's immune to RF jamming techniques. So you got a very secure sensor here. It's very good. Now, one important thing I want to mention before I go and enroll this with the system. So there was actually a firmware issue with the IQ Panel 2 to where this particular PowerG sensor, just this one, and a few others, but this one in particular, it wasn't compatible with the system. Now, Qolsys actually fixed this issue in firmware version 2.4.0, which actually just came out a couple weeks ago. It's new. We posted some content about it. We're very excited about it. But you have to be on version 2.4.0 to use the PG9312 with the IQ Panel 2 Plus. You can use it with any IQ Panel 2 Plus. They all have the PowerG daughter card. It doesn't matter if you have the 319.5 megahertz version, the 345 megahertz version, or the 433 megahertz version. They will all work with this sensor, but you have to be on 2.4.0. So once you've done that, once you are on the proper firmware, you can go ahead and enroll it with the system. Now, how these enroll is you put the panel into its wireless enrollment mode, and you have to power the sensor on by inserting the batteries. Now, we've opened up the sensor already, but if you actually have the sensor brand new, if you've never used it before, then there'll be a battery tab, and all you'll have to do is remove this outer piece. And it goes on the top of it like this, and what you do is you take a flathead screwdriver like I have right here, and you can just insert it into this little tab right here. I don't know if you can see that too well. But you can just pry it off right that. We've already done that for demonstration purposes just to get through it. And we took off some other covers as well just so we could easily access the battery tab. If the sensor's brand new, you won't have to open it up as much as we did. There'll be a little battery tab. You just pull it out and then you enroll. But first, you're going to want to put the system into its enrollment mode. So I'm going to show you that first here. We got a battery right here so we can enroll it once we're ready. But let's go into the IQ2. We click on it and we get to the main screen right here. So then you click on this small gray bar at the top. And then there's the settings button. And then you choose Advanced Settings, and then you want to enter your installer code. You can also use your dealer code. We're going to use our installer code today. That's 1111. And then you choose Installation, choose Devices, you choose Security Sensors, and then you go to Auto Learn Sensor. And now the panel's into its enrollment mode. So what we're going to do here, we're going to insert the battery into the sensor so that way it powers on. You just take it, and it's a little bit tricky to fit in, but if you just work it a little bit, you can get it. Let's see here. You just gotta put it in there. Like I said, it's a bit tricky, but you will get it. There we go, right? Like that. And then it should come up in a second. There we go. So this is the sensor right here. You can see it says Auto Learn PowerG sensor because this is a PowerG sensor. So now it's letting me enroll it. So we're just gonna click OK. And so then this is the programming menu. This is where you set the zone settings and everything. So I'm gonna go through each one just to let you know what you should do. The sensor DL ID, since we auto-enrolled the sensor, that's already correct. You don't have to mess with that. Sensor type, you're generally going to want to use door and window. You might change it if you're using it as a wireless transmitter. That's another feature of this sensor, by the way. You can actually see this since we have it open up. Lucky us, we have zone terminals right here for a single hardwired contact. And what's unique about this is you can actually use a normally opened or a normally closed contact, so that's pretty cool. Now with the IQ2, you can only use one feature. You can only use the reed switch contact, or as a wireless transmitter, normally open or normally closed. You can't program this to multiple zones because it's a PowerG sensor, so you can only use one of the features with this. On other systems, you can use multiple, but this one you can only use the one. We're hoping that gets fixed at some point, but for now you can only use one feature. So then, like I said, you can keep it at door and window for sensor type. Sensor group, we're going to keep it at entry-exit normal delay. If you want to have the system respond differently when the sensor is activated, you might change that. Sensor input, that's what I was talking about just a second ago. See, you can choose auxiliary normally closed for a wireless transmitter, same with auxiliary normally open. But we're going to keep it as a reed switch because we want to use it as a contact. This is what you would do if you're putting it on a fence, barn door, anything like that. Sensor disabled during disarm, that would just, like, the sensor wouldn't be active when the system's disarmed, it would only be active. We'll keep that off so that way we see the zone fault. Sensor name, just put in something that will help you remember it. We'll just keep it at front door for now. Chime, you can choose whatever chime you want. There's also a none option if you don't want chime to be on. Voice prompts, that's the system will speak out when the sensor is activated, so that way you hear the zone name and everything. And then source, we're just going to keep it at PowerG. So we're good to go right here. So we're just going to go click Add New at the bottom to finish, and then it's going to take a second to add here. And now the sensor is added successfully, so we're good to go. We can return to the main screen now. We can do that by just pressing the home button at the bottom. Right there. Oops. So now we finished enrolling the sensor, and we have returned to the main screen by pressing the home button. And as you can see, we don't have the sensor active right now because we have it against the magnet. And so if I separate it from the magnet, then you can see the zone faults, and that would, if the system were armed, then it would trigger the response type based on the sensor group. And if I put the magnet back, then you see it closes. So the contact is successfully enrolled, so it's working out well. If you have any questions about this video, please email us at support@alarmgrid.com. If you did find this video helpful, please click the thumbs up below, and you can click the bell, the subscribe button, to subscribe to our channel and get updates on when we post new videos. We hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.